Hello students, how are you? After a long gap, again I am continuing with my video lecture series now here, and in this today's video we are going to start the new chapter, that is human eye and colorful world. See, whatever part today I am going to continue, that part is not meant for examination actually. Okay, for the examination 2020-21 this part is discarded by the CBSE, but still I want to just take that part just as a recap for you, so that the link will be established between the class and you. Okay, so today's discussion is regarding human eye and colorful world, and in that mainly we are going to discuss about the structure of eye. Okay, see, when we are talking about structure of eye, from class say 8th or even previous classes also you have discussed about the eye. So in brief today I will discuss here what are the functions or the workings of different parts of the eye. We are not going in the much depth here, okay, we are taking it in simple way. Okay, so let us talk about the structure of eye. If you typically look at the structure of eye, the eye looks something like this. Okay, if I take a cross view of the eye, then eye looks something like this. If I take the front view of the eye, the front view looks something like this. Okay, you can see here the view is something like this. Okay, so we are not interested in that view, rather we are interested in the different parts of the eye. Now what are that's here? Let us go quickly here. The first part is cornea. It is the front part. It is the front part or the starting part through which rays of light or light is entering in our eye. It is called as the cornea. Just slightly behind it, the region which is present there, that is called as the pupil. Pupil is the region just beside to that one. Okay, then the next part is iris. Now be careful about this iris actually. Iris are the pair of say muscles or tissues which are in front of the eye lens. Okay, one is from the upward direction and one is from the bottom direction. Okay, so there are pair of iris. The next part is the ciliary muscles. These are also the pair of muscles. They are attached to the eye lens. Okay, now we will discuss one by one what is the functioning of all these things, but let's again go ahead. The next part, very important, which is the heart of the eye we can say. Okay, and that is the eye lens. Eye lens is very important part of our eye, because it carries the essential thing of image formation. Okay, the next part is retina. It is just behind our eye lens and all these things. It is the part of eye itself, but it is the portion which is just behind the eye lens. So this retina is basically acting like a screen for us. And at the last there is optic nerve. Okay, so this optic nerve is also very important part. It carries the electric signals to the brain. Now let us take quickly here what is the function of each and every part here. First of all, I will talk about here cornea and the pupil. You can see in the diagram itself. The function of cornea and pupil is to help for refraction of light. Whatever light is coming from the objects, that light basically enters in our eye, and then we are able to see the things, or we are able to identify the things. So mainly to guide that light, to refract that light, these two parts they are helping. Next part is iris. This part is very important. Okay, as I have discussed in the classroom also, you might have seen, you might have attended the classes. Okay, see, this iris is just like a shutter in front of our eye lens. Okay, depending upon the light situation or amount of light, our eye decides what amount of light should enter in the eye. Okay, so if we are in the bright lights, then these iris they will come and they will just close the shutter, or they will close the area of the eye lens, so that minimum light will enter in the eye lens. When we are in the weak light condition or low light condition, in that case to see the things maximum light should be enter in our eye. So in that case this shutter simply opens up. Okay, so according to the condition of light, iris may come closer or it can extend also, and it decides what amount of light should enter in the eye. Okay, so it is just like a shutter for the eye lens. Then next, very important, that is ciliary muscles. You can see there are pair of ciliary muscles, they are attached to the eye lens as shown in the diagram, you can see. Okay, so what is the role of these ciliary muscles? These ciliary muscles also can contract or they can relax. Okay, these contraction and relaxation, they can flatten the eye lens or they can compress the eye lens like this. Okay, flattening or compressing, it means that the area of the eye lens is decreasing or it is increasing. So this decides the focal length of the eye lens. In other words, we can say that ciliary muscles are helpful to change the focal length of the eye lens. Our eye lens has the ability to change the focal length. Okay, so they helps for the changing or change in the focal length, ciliary muscles. Okay, now next is eye lens. It helps for the image formation. It is just like the laboratory lenses. Only thing is that it don't have the fixed focal length, it has the varying focal length. It can decide according to the situation that what focal length should I use. Why it is so? Because V is fixed here, image distance is fixed here, image should be formed on the retina only here. That is the condition here. That's why according to U, F can be changed here, as you can see from the that lens equation, 1 by F equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. That is the role of the eye lens. Then retina, it is just like a screen. The images which are taking place or the images which are being formed by the eye lenses, they are formed on the retina. So retina is acting like a screen. Now retina consists of two types of say cells or tissues. They are called as rods and cones. These rods and cones, they are sensitive towards the color of the that incoming light and intensity of the incoming light. Accordingly, what happens, these tissues or these muscles, they will create an electric pulse. So ultimately that electric pulse is carried out by the optic nerve to the brain. So finally our brain will analyze that what color we are looking, what is the intensity of the color that we are looking, what object we are looking, and all these processes, they are processed by the brain. So this is the quick recap of the structure of the eye. Okay, this part is not meant for examination this year at least. Okay, let's carry out with one more point, which is very small point again. That point is power of accommodation. Okay, now what is the power of accommodation? Power of accommodation is the ability of eye lens to change its focal length. That is called as the power of accommodation. Just previously we have seen that eye lens can change its focal length, okay, so that we can see different types of objects or different distance objects. That is called as the power of accommodation. Okay, after that there are 3 points that I am leaving for homework for you. What are that? See here, it's a homework part for you. You have to think about far point, near point and eye defects. Okay, in quick I will say that what is the far point? Far point is the maximum distance up to which we can see. That is called as the far point. For a normal person, for a normal eye, it is up to infinity. Near point is the minimum distance at which the objects should be kept so that we can see them clearly. For a normal eye, it is 25 centimeter. Okay, this is called as the far point and near point. And eye defects, there are basically two defects. They are myopia and hypermetropia. Okay, myopia is the case in which the person's far point is reduced, and hypermetropia is the case of eye defect in which near point is increased. Okay, so you just explore about them. Okay, I will not talk about this much now here. Okay, so you explore about that and enjoy it. After This we will go to the next video in our next coming video, and we will discuss about the refraction of light through prism. So till then, take care.